For a lot of the middle school and high school programs, now that marching band is over with, that season is done. Concert band starts, wind ensemble starts, and for those schools who have the programs, jazz ensemble starts. Okay, one of my students, I'm going to say she's 14 or 15, and a fine emerging soloist in her own right, came to me and said, teacher gave her some advice about what to do over a particularly challenging piece, and she was having a little trouble. He said, just play a B-flat concert blues. Alto sax, that's G blues, all right? You all know how to do that, right? And you realize, of course, that that's not very good advice, even though it's better advice than I got when I was her age and I was in high school, right? And the problem with that is that, it's a scale. I mean, it's really, really hard, even though, yes, melodies are made out of scales. Yes, that's the raw material of crafting a melody. It's the wrong direction to send a student. And so, as I peruse YouTube and you peruse YouTube, I see lots of people who have programs that explain to you how to solo, like 3 steps to get you to solo, or 3 or 5 things that you can, that will help you. Here's a plan to help you. And I like the word plan, right? Playing a scale is not one of them. A plan, though, is, right? A plan is sort of like a roadmap. A roadmap. If you want to go to Burger King, am I allowed to say that, Burger King? Or do I have to pay them? Anyway, if you just any hamburger joint, if you wanted to get there, and you had no idea where it was, but you knew it was north of here, so you just started driving, you might go hungry. You feel me? All right. You got to have a map, all right? And so for single note instruments, right, what's the map? It's not the chord progression. The key center is, what key is the song in? The key is where all of the rest of those chords in that progression came from, right? But no, that's not it. Let's let the piano, bass, let's let the guitar, let's let them handle the changes. You and I, as single note instruments, we need a map to producing a solo, all right? And that is called the melody. The melody of the song is where you want to be. This is going to help you to craft your own solo. So, in other words, what I'm saying is memorize the melody of the song. Any song, I don't care what it is you're playing. Now, sometimes in big band arrangements and big band situations, that might be a little bit tricky. You might really not, it might not be obvious that there's, a distinct melody. Hopefully your band teacher will have a recording or some kind of a backing or something online that he can refer you to so that you can listen to that. And again, I'm talking to school age right now. This is going to apply, though, to everybody, anybody of any age, whether you're, cranking out in your house and recording yourself to backing tracks, or, you're thinking about starting your own combo, your trio, blues, jazz, funk, the entire spectrum. Your soloing wants to follow the map of the melody, okay? All right. How do you get that? Well, again, the time-honored way is to memorize the melody so that, you can walk around and sing it in your head. That memorization will get you through any solo, all right? Now, think about that melody as your solo, as the guide, as the map, right? You want to take a few side trips here and there, all right? Of course you do. It makes it far more interesting. In essence, what you get to do is you get to rewrite the melody just a little bit the way that perhaps you would like to, or embellish it or add to it in ways that make musical sense to you, okay? What's the song about? What are the words of the song? Oh, yeah. I mean, let's get deep into the research. Now, there may not be words. Could be a big band piece with no words at all. But it might be something really cool. Don't get around much anymore. Well, learn the words. Listen to the words, right? That's going to help you when you go and sit down and craft your solo, okay? Now, there are 2 more things to do here, and they're really important. And again, I suspect that these items might be in some of the other online tutorials where teachers are talking about, like the 3 foolproof things that you can do. I mean, I don't know this to be a fact, but it could be, because these are truly foolproof ways to create a solo. Learning a blues scale is a wonderful thing, but it's not something that you want to do when you sit down and make a song. And you're going to end up just lost. I mean, and you know, you can only play that blues scale so many times before, you know, you just say, I don't know what I'm doing here, right? And that would be the case. Well, the case would be that you know how to play a blues scale, but you don't really know how to make a solo out of that. Again, let's take the melody and let's take, if there are words, let's learn those words. Let's get the rhythm down right. And then start to embellish it. Play with it a little bit. Rewrite it. Oh, now there you go. What I would love for all of you to do is to get some of that cool music paper, that blank music paper, and write out as an exercise the solo that you'd like to play with whatever song that it is that you're working on. And you can reach out to me anytime you like with this material, davegoodsax@gmail.com, or leave something in the comments below. In fact, you just post yourself playing, but write out the solo. Those of you who are emerging soloists, in the beginning, it's so helpful for you to say, just write out 2, 3, 4 solos every week, right? I mean write them out, note per note. Now, you know, you don't have to stick with this, but it's wonderful to have this and to be able to work this exercise out and to just see the possibilities. When you're playing with the band, you're playing along with the track, or you're in class or wherever you are and playing, that music doesn't stop. That's the one thing. The band is sort of like a rip current. You know, it just keeps on moving. And if you stop to think, and that's the thing is, in the beginning, you got to think about everything. At our level, my level, no, I don't think about very much anymore. But at your level, as an emerging soloist, you got to think about everything until it all integrates and becomes one behavior. Like driving a car, flying a plane, whatever. You know, in the beginning, you think about every little thing. After a while, you know, it all seems to work out. So write your solo out based on the melody. Ba ba da ba da ba. Don't get around much anymore, right? Or whatever it is. You know, like I said, I'm not really a jazz head, but you know, like a blues thing or a rock thing, pop thing, anything. I don't care what you're working on. Craft your own solo, okay? Now you say, Dave, I don't know how to do that. Well, then just play it on the saxophone and punch it into your phone as record it on your smartphone. You can do that. Or you can just write the letters, you know. Whatever it takes, however it takes to get you to stop, block to sneeze, think and craft, you know, something that's not just playing a blues scale over chords is a win, okay? This is what I want you to do. Is it going to be easy at first? Nah, it's not. Never is. But it gets easier the more that you do it. And eventually, you will not be writing out your solos anymore because you'll be able to actually think things up on the fly. Think things up on the fly. Yeah, you can't do that right now because, once again, this is all new territory. So if you were to, say, have a place to start your solo, wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, that's what this gives you. This gives you a plan, a place to start the trajectory. How am I going to start my solo? A lot of my students, emerging students, just start blowing notes. And the encouragement from a teacher, well-meaning as it may be, to blow a blues scale, which is very, very common advice, by the way. And it's often given by people who have never played a solo in their entire lives. They might be very good at something else, but they're not very good at playing a solo, right? The way to get good at playing a solo is take it apart, memorize the melody, and then write your own solo based on the melody. And it doesn't have to be complicated at all. Make it simple, okay? Make the long notes short and the short notes long. Add a couple of chromatic notes. Maybe change an octave. Maybe change up a rhythm. Just something very simple, okay? So you're going to write this out. After you've memorized. Say that after me. Memorized the melody. And listen to somebody singing the words if that's the case. Or you've gotten some sense of the melody of this big band piece from your band teacher. This is so important. This stuff is so important. You're going to write this stuff out. And then you're going to come up to me later and say, you know, I don't really have any ideas. I don't know what to do. Where do I get ideas from? And I'm going to say that's a great question. That's, in fact, the best question you've asked all day. Where do you get ideas from? I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You ready? You steal them. Now, kinder people would say, you borrow them. Okay, whichever, I don't care. Steal them, borrow them. How do you do that? You listen to people, all right? You listen to other saxophone players. I grew up listening to guitar players. You listen to whoever. Frank Sinatra listened to Tommy Dorsey, the leader of that wonderful band, and he was a bone player, right? So however it works out, whatever instrument grabs you, you listen to that, and you start to copy some of the pet phrases that you hear, okay? Does it get any harder? No, it's that simple, okay? So once again, reach out to me, davegoodsax@gmail.com if you have any questions, any comments, any ideas for future episodes here. And let's make solos together, okay? I'd love to hear from you, love to hear what you're doing. Comments below, subscribe if this is of any value to you. And I so appreciate the 500 plus of you who are out there now. Man, it just seems like not so long ago, I was thinking, wow, I've got 50 subscribers, 500 plus now. Whoa, I know. All right, thank you all so much for being there. All right, let's go play some saxophone.